Hi, this is Jerome Pepin. In this video, we'll talk about creating a PO specifically for a work order. This is a great technique to avoid overpurchasing. We'll talk about purchase order consolidation, which will save a lot on inbound shipping, and you'll see how Amy will sharply reduce the administrative effort of the purchasing process. Let's get started. So let's go to our work order where we'll be installing a Stratus ESG transponder and a ACK encoder. Our squawks are created and now we're going to add parts to it. This part is in my inventory. You can see the system is responding back. It recognized the part. We need a quantity of 1. We'll enter the second part number. It's also in our inventory system. Our software recognizes it. We'll add a quantity of 1. And these parts are heavy enough that they need to be part of the weight and balance. These two items are not in my current inventory. So I'm going to indicate to my purchasing department that we need to issue a PO on these two parts. So I'm selecting my buyer. When I hit the submit, the system's going to create what we call a buyer list and send an email to Jessica telling her that we need some material. In that email, there'll be a link that will take Jessica directly to the items that we are requesting, and I'm going to pretend I'm her, use the fulfillment system, and we'll jump into that part of the software, and I'll show you what that looks like. We have an extensive video on the fulfillment system, but for purposes of this video, I'm going to just focus on the reorder list. So here are my parts, a little bit of history, overall demand, maybe there are other jobs that need the same part. Do I have anything on order currently? And let's go ahead and create a purchase order. So we're going to generate a purchase order for Appareo, and they're going to get just the first line item. So we'll create this purchase order and I'll show you how we issue it in a moment. So the software has taken us back to the reorder list. You can see we've processed one item, it's the one we just did, and we have one more remaining. So let's go ahead and generate this purchase order and we'll issue it to Aircraft Spruce. So I'll start typing in their name. They're in our vendor list, the software recognizes them. If I have a pending PO to Aircraft Spruce that I haven't issued yet, I can either add this part to that pending PO or I can create a new one. In this case, I'll just create a new one. Okay, we've taken care of the two items on our reorder list. Let's go to those purchase orders and let's finish them up and issue them. So we're in the Appareo PO. I'm going to go to the Actions menu. I'm going to issue the PO. And then I'm going to link back to the work order so you can see what it looks like from there. So inside the parts requested area of the work order, I can see that this first PO was issued and the second one is still pending. So we give the technicians and the guys working the job, the men and women working the job, visibility to what the purchasing folks have done, just so they know what's happening with the material requirements associated with that job. So I'm going to click on the pending PO and go ahead and issue that. Now obviously I have, as a user, have privileges to issue POs. Not all technicians necessarily do. Let's set up our payment terms and our shipping method, and then we'll get this PO on its way. Okay, so let's issue this purchase order and we'll preview it. We'll email it. I'll email it to myself and kind of speeded up the action here to show you the full life cycle on the purchase order, and that purchase order is complete. So how does this look from the work order side? I can see that the two POs have been issued, so I have nice visibility to know that the purchasing folks have done what they needed to do for me. So I'm going to jump back to the purchase order. We're going to fast forward in time and we're going to receive these items, and I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like when I receive items directly to a work order. So we're a big shop. We have planes coming in and going out every day. We have purchase orders being cut. We have UPS and FedEx arriving at our door twice a day. And this is how we keep track of what parts are supposed to go where. So this part of the system is absolutely fantastic. So we're going to continue with the receiving process. Perhaps you've seen this in other Amy videos. So what is our quantity? Do we have serial numbers and lot numbers that we want to record? Stuff that's going into inventory, we have locations and bin locations. We can track the manufacturer. If this item is part of our weight and balance. It's a good time to collect the weight now. And I'm going to show you in a minute what it looks like when we have the weight in our inventory system ahead of time. We're attaching documents right now, so this part showed up with an 8130. We have another video that shows you how you can do purchasing and receiving with your cell phone and take pictures of everything that comes in, including documents. So check that video out. I want to jump back to the work order so you can see what it looks like. So in the work order you can see that the first item, we've received it. So let's go back and receive the second one. And here I'm going to skip a bunch of steps. I'll just show you the end result, but there's something on the screen that I do want to point out. Notice that the weight is predefined. That's because we've added the weight in the inventory system. You know, maybe we receive this part on a regular basis. So when you add the weight in the inventory system, it becomes available all through AMY. So we talk in the weight and balance video how your inventory becomes more valuable over time. That's because you're adding weights and you're indicating which parts are supposed to be in the weight and balance. So over time, the system allows you to do your job faster and faster and faster. We'll wrap up this receiving process by attaching an 8130, and then I want to show you the purchase order event timeline. So in the event timeline we can see all the different steps that we did to execute this purchase order. Not only what steps we did, but who performed them and when. So we've gone through the full cycle of creating a purchase order specifically for a work order. The two items have been purchased and received. We have a fantastic audit trail of everything that took place. And we've reached the end of the video. So congratulations on hanging in there. I hope you found this informative. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you on the next video.